Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of our Montreal Canadiens franchise mode series on NHL 22. In this episode, we'll be headed into the 2028-29 season, which means we're halfway through this franchise mode series. I'm really excited to see what this team can do this season. We've made the playoffs every season since winning the Stanley Cup, so we have a great squad here in Montreal now, which is kind of funny to say given how this recent season went for them in real life. But still, we're looking forward to the future. We have a great team here. I'm really excited to see, the kind of playoff push we'll make this year. As always, if you enjoy the video, smash a like button and subscribe to the channel. The support helps me out a ton. So here we go. Let's jump right into the 2028-29 season. Enjoy. Alright, so headed into the 2028-29 season. Again, we're halfway through this franchise mode series with the Montreal Canadiens. As always, we're just going to go over our lines real quick. I ended up moving Jaeger and Lambert up to the first line with Caulfield, put Suzuki and Konechny down on the second line. Mostly because I want these guys to develop even more. 24 years old and 23 years old, so they have so much room to grow, and obviously Caulfield 27, so really young first line. Second line here, just really gross, honestly. They get that +5 as well. Third line, so solid, 85s across the board. Sniper and a playmaker there with Denisenko playing with Keller, and a great center in Velarde. And then our fourth line, also just so solid, getting a +1. Take a look at our defensive pairs. We got Barron and Carrier on the first pairing, then Ference, and this Charnkis guy is 23 and 83 overall. So we want him getting some more ice time. Really good defensive skills there, 99 shot blocking, 94 stick checking. He'll be really good for us. And then we have Sanheim and Malou locking it down on the third pairing there. Take a look at our special teams. Power play is looking gross this year, +5 and a +2 there on the second unit. Four-man power play is also looking really good, getting a +2 and a +1. Our penalty kill is looking solid there. First unit with a +2, second unit with that even correlation. And three-man PK 0, and then, I couldn't really get rid of this -1, but, what are you going to do? It's our second unit, so that's fine. Our goalies here, we got Blomqvist as our starter, 84 overall with Comesso backing him up at 83, so, pretty decent goaltending duo there. Both of their contracts are coming up this year, so Blomqvist does want a lot of money, but we will see what we can do in the off season, and we will look at that, cross that bridge when we get there. So as usual, we're gonna jump right into the simulation, head out into the brand new year, January 1st, 2029, and see how we're doing. I think this team looks really solid this year. I think we can make another really good playoff push, and obviously the goal is to win a second Stanley Cup during this franchise mode. So we will sim out to January 1st, 2029 and see how we do then. Alright, so to start the new year, January 1st, 2029, we have a record of 22, 14, and 2. As you can see, good for third in the Atlantic. So we're doing pretty average, still, over 500, which is good. But 46 points there. So, we're definitely in that tight running for the playoff picture right now. This is super early. Brad Lambert there leading the team, 35 points in 38 games, 46 points. So yeah, honestly, relatively average as far as the rest of the league goes. So hopefully we can pick that up. We'll just take a real quick look at the AHL team. Doing pretty well, 21, 10, and 5. They're Kapitanov. They're one of our young draft picks. 33 points in 36 games. Very good there. So we will go sim out to the trade deadline, and I may look to make a blockbuster trade. Interestingly enough. This year's draft class looks good, so we might want to go after, first round, second round picks, and maybe acquire, some nice players that can maybe be a difference maker for us this season. And we will go sim out to the trade deadline and see how we're doing then. Alright, so headed into the trade deadline here, we have a record of 36, 22, and 6. That is good for still third in the Atlantic, 78 points. So we are starting to put a little bit more distance in between us and the rest of the teams here. As you can see, 6 points up on the wild card spot. So a good spot to be in right now, tied for second, not far out from first in the Atlantic. And doing pretty well in the mix as far as the Eastern Conference goes. Blue Jackets there, 90 points. Jesus Christ, anyone doing better than them? No. So the Blue Jackets are the best team in the league right now. Take a quick look at our AHL team. They are absolutely killing it this season, 40-18-6. Clint Roenick, one of our rookies, they're doing really well, 51 points in 64 games. Second in the division there. That's actually really weird, even though they because the Marlies have less games played probably. But 86 points, so they're doing very well this season. We love to see it. And we'll head into the trade deadline here. Again, I'm probably going to be a buyer. Like, not going to lie, I want to see if we can bring in any of those X Factor type players that can be a difference maker for us. So we'll head in here and see what we can do. Alright guys, so I'm just going to make a small trade here, offering up Joshua Roy in exchange for a round 3 and a round 4 in 2030 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. You can just take a look at his numbers here. Obviously not doing too much, not playing too much for us. 25 and an 82, so he's pretty much like done growing. He has a great shot, great skating, but you know, overall, like, we'll be fine without him. You know, doesn't take up too much salary, and we'd get 2 extra draft picks. The value is definitely on our side here, so we'll see what they say. And there we go. Alright guys, so I'm trying to make another kind of small trade for the St. Louis Blues here, giving them Logan Malou here. He's 25 and 83. Trying to get back Nick Hague, who's 30 and 84. Probably fit into that third pairing, bolstered a bit, and a 6 and a 7th. Get some extra draft picks out of them. They like Malou here. I think he'd be a good addition to their team, as Hague would be a good addition to our team, so we'll offer it up, see what they say. And there we go. Good. Alright, so the trade deadline has passed. We made a couple kind of smaller trades, but ones that I think will benefit us. Take a look at the other activity here. You got Radish and Bellows going to Nashville. Valimaki to Nashville also. There's our trade for Nick Hague. I think that was a good trade. I think we kind of won that one, getting 2 extra, you know, draft picks out of St. Louis. Let's see who else. Kurashev and Borgstrom going to Winnipeg. Zadorov to Chicago. DeMello to Dallas. Lots of draft picks. Martins Ferrari going to Florida. There's our trade for Josh Roy. Sending him to Pittsburgh, getting some more draft picks. Good trade there. Big trade, Darnell Nurse going to Buffalo. Ethan Bear to Tampa. And let's see, Verana to the Islanders. Juan to the Columbus Blue Jackets. So overall, no huge trades. You know, like guys like Adam Fox, Rube Hintz were on the block, but none of them ended up moving. Overall, I like our trades here, and we will keep going out. Kiefer Bellows is on waivers. Let's check him out real quick. 30 and 80. No, thank you. So yeah, we'll just head out to the end of the regular season. See how we do. Again, we're in a decent playoff spot. Obviously, would like to get up there a little bit more. Get some comfort ground on the other teams in the Eastern Conference. So we'll go out to the end of the regular season and see how we do. Alright guys, so I actually just noticed that Caulfield wants an extension. We're halfway through this, so we could do like a maybe 6-year, or I feel like 5 years. I would take him until he's 33. Like, he's just so good for us. His asking price did come down. Originally he was asking like over 13 million, which was ridiculous, so I feel like now's a really good time to get him. I think we could actually get him for under 10 million. I'm gonna do 9.7. Actually, let's try 9.9 on the nose and see what he says to this, and if not, we can just work our way up bit by bit. But I think this is a fair ask, so we'll send it in and see what he says. Alright guys, so Caulfield did decide to renew the contract. Really great. We get him for the remainder of this franchise series, 5 years, and we actually ended up dropping his our offer to 9.6 million. Again, he was asking about just about 10.5 million, so almost a full million under what he was asking. Really good out for us. Again, he's like kind of our franchise player here, so great to keep him around. And we also signed Tarnquist to a 1-year contract. He was asking a little over 5 million, like 5.4 million. I think we gave him 5.3 for the year. Honestly, kind of fine given how young he is, and he's an 83 overall. So, you know, keep him around for 1 more year. He's still an RFA, would be an RFA after next season. So, good addition for us next year. Alrighty, so to end the regular season, I can't talk. We have a record of 49, 25, and 8, good for first in the Atlantic. We picked it up a lot in the second half of the year after that trade deadline. Finished with 106 points, second in the Eastern Conference. The Blue Jackets there finishing with 113 points. They will also win the President's Trophy. Take a look at the playoff picture here. Flames, Canucks, Kings, Avalanche, Jets, Predators, Wild, and Blackhawks from the Western Conference. And then here we got the Lightning, Maple Leafs, Red Wings, Sabres, and then the Blue Jackets, Rangers, and Penguins on the Eastern Conference side. As you can see there, Suzuki led our team 68 points. Kind of crazy that like we didn't have anyone absolutely pop off this season. Suzuki and Caulfield, just a really good combo there. Playing well. Lambert here, putting up 67 points, 50 assists. Kind of crazy, so that was good for him. Konechny, Keller. Yegi here have a bit of a down year, only 48 points. Still 35 assists though, so you know, can't complain about that. I mean, I guess you could say it's just like a really well-rounded, you know, team here. Like Velarde there, putting up 41 points. You know, really good for him. So yeah, just overall, you know, just a very well-rounded, you know, performance from everyone. And then you can see there, Barron going off, 57 points. Ferentz up there as well. Carey, I mean, our defensive guys were really good. Targ was there getting 11 goals, so that is nice to see. And then we'll take a look at our goalies here. So pretty respectable numbers. Blomqvist, the goals against, you know, not so great, but he did have over 90% on the save percentage there. And then Camesso here, .909 in a very nice goals against average, 2.72. So our goalie's getting the job done. Looks like they play well. Take a look at our AHL team. Our goalie's playing very well. Armsden here, had him play the majority of the game, doing very, very well. Great numbers for him. On our defenseman here, Cormier leading the way. Solis here 32 and Sylvester with 30. Those are our two rookies that we want to keep an eye on. Dwyer here not putting up a lot of points even though he's on that first pairing, listed as a low elite here. But, you know, as you can see, we have him for those defensive skills. 95 D awareness, 98 stick checking. So, you know, he is a very good defensive player. You know, that is who he is. So he's not going to put up a lot of points. But yeah, looks good. Check a look at our forwards here real quick. So Kapitanov there, I mean, you know, he's just been lights out for our AHL team. Clint Ronix, one of our rookies we're watching, he's 23 to 76, so be interesting to see how he grows. Kuznetsov, also another rookie that we're watching, 21 to 75. So he could end up making the team, you know, maybe next season or the season after. We got, you know, some good depth scoring here down on our AHL team. And they're also in the playoffs, obviously 50, 19, and 13. They killed it this year. First in their division with Thunderbirds, though, 116. They'll win the league there. So we'll hop right into the playoffs and see what we get in the first round. Alright, as you can see, we have Toronto in the first round of the playoffs. Pretty similar record to ours. They went 49, 30, and 3 in the regular season. Take a look at the other matchups here. Calgary and Chicago, Canucks and Kings. Jets and Predators, and then the Wild and Avalanche in the Western Conference. The other Eastern Conference matchups here, the Lightning, Red Wings, us and the Maple Leafs, classic Canadian matchup there. Love to see it. The Blue Jackets, Sabres, and then the Rangers and Penguins. So we'll jump right into it, and we'll just go game by game here, and we'll see how we do. Oh, and real quick before we start the series, I always forget to do this for whatever reason, but I just want to take a look and see who Toronto has on their team. Do they still have Matthews? They do. So they have just a totally gross first line here. And after that, like, kind of fall off a little bit with the depth. I mean, they have like really good centers down the lineup, but overall they're like an extremely top-heavy team. Like our depth absolutely outclasses them, but obviously they got into the playoffs. This top line can definitely carry them. Their defense here, kind of rough aside from Sandin and Riley, honestly. 79, 81 there. Graves, good defenseman though, dead on that bottom pairing. You see they have a net, 81 and an 80. So like, fairly even goalies here, but lower rated than ours. So, you know, on paper we are the better team, but obviously anything can happen in the playoffs. So let's get this series going, game by game here, and see how it goes. So we start off with a nice 4-2 win, follow up with a tough 3-2 OT loss, headed into Toronto, a 5-2 loss, down 2-1 in the series, a 5-4 loss, oof, down 3-1. And we force a game 6, 3-2, headed back to Toronto, and an OT win there. Going into game 7, we'll go period by period here, come back from a 3-1 deficit, and let's see how we can do. Tied after 1, Lambert for us, Kasha for them. 4-2, big second period here, Konechny, Jaeger, and Ference. And there we go. Caulfield and Konechny coming up huge in the third, putting the game away. We take it in 7 games. Man, the boys got me nervous there. But come back, as you can see. All the other series are done. Calgary, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and the Avs moving on, and then the Red Wings, us, the Rangers, and the Blue Jackets moving on to the second round. And also our AHL team here starting off in the second round. They got that win here, so good on them making it out of the first round. And let's sim out and see who we get. Alright, so we have Detroit in the second round of the playoffs. Their regular season record, 47-31-4. And take a look at their team here. They actually were a team that gave us like consistent trouble in the regular season. Not really sure why. I mean, their first line's good though. Pastrnak, Raymond, and Bertuzzi. They do have decent depth though. Like this second line is really good here. After that, I mean, yeah, like they have good depth on this team, honestly. Definitely not going to write them off. And let's look at their defense. Yeah, so a really good top 4 here. And then their bottom pair is okay. So they have in net a 90 Kosa. Okay, so they were a really good goalie, although an 80 backing them up. So their goalie is going to be tough to beat for sure. But I believe we have a good squad here. And as usual, take it game by game, see how it goes. So a close overtime win in game 1. Game 2, wow, we flipped the OTs. So we're coming out split. A 5-1 loss there in Detroit. Game 4, a 5-4 OT win there, so we're all tied up at 2. Headed in a 3-0 win, very nice here. 3-2 series lead, and we get it done. Awesome, we get it done in 6 games, and as you can see, we're playing the Columbus Blue Jackets in the conference finals. The Avs facing off against the Canucks. Now, the Blue Jackets, I believe, are a very good team. Yeah, President's Trophy winners, 51, 20, and 11. Let's take a look and see what kind of team they have going on here. What's making them so good this year? So really great first line there. Very impressive. Second line, also really good. And they got some nice depth as well. You know, 79 Blade down there, but overall, like Greenway, really good third liner. Zaka and Dvorak, you know, good like veteran players. So they got good depth. Their defensive core is very good. Wow, that's like a nasty first pairing there. And then you got Urkemps here. He's 20 years old and an 87 already. My gosh. They got a very nice bottom pairing there as well. Who do they have in net? So an 83 Merzlikins and 82 Georgiev backing them up. So kind of similar goalie situation to what we have. Otherwise, like they're an extremely good team. Actually, like before we go, I just want to see the playoff bracket. And okay, so they didn't sweep both. But they swept the Sabres, and then they beat the Rangers in 5. Colorado also winning both their series in 5 games. So we got 2 like really strong front runners for the Cup Finals. You know, I'm definitely holding my breath here. We got a tough matchup. We'll go game by game. And we start off with a 4-3 loss. So close game there. Game 2, follow up with a 5-2 win. Very nice. Headed back home. 1 apiece. A big 6-2 win. Let's see if we can get a 3-1 lead or head back tied. And we do head back to Columbus tied up at 2 games apiece. A very nice 6-5 OT win. Game 6 back at home. Loss. Oh man, this is tough. Down to the wire. Game 7. Avs also going to Game 7. 3-2 after 1. Close game. 4-2. This could be all she wrote for our season here in the conference finals. Playing a very good Columbus Blue Jackets team. 2-goal lead though. Worst lead in hockey. There we go. Jaeger gets one, puts us within 1. 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd period. Can we get it done? There we go. Caulfield ties it up on the power play. 5 minutes left. It is down to the wire here. Oh man, that is rough. And that'll do it, guys. That was really, really crappy to watch, not gonna lie. But we lose there in the conference finals in 7 games. The Avs go on, so it will be the Avs and the Blue Jackets in the Stanley Cup Finals this season. Really tough one for us. I do want to take a look. Caulfield there. You can see 23 points, I believe. Yeah. So like our big guys were stepping up. Our depth was doing quite well, honestly, as well here. Take a look at our goalies. Yeah, so I mean, Blomqvist did put up like quite good numbers, honestly. Comesso there kind of skewed because he only came in relief, stopped 4 or 5 shots, but yeah, Blomqvist put up pretty good numbers. But overall, I mean, that was a very good Columbus team. I mean, I don't know why the sim engine decides to, you know, have us storm back and then they get the go-ahead goal late in the 3rd. Like, that's just so deflating to watch. But regardless, we will sim out and, you know, see how the season ends, see who wins the Stanley Cup. Alright, there you have it, guys. The Columbus Blue Jackets are your Stanley Cup champions. Kind of like, I don't know, I would have thought Colorado would have won it over them. But I mean, they just had a great run to the Stanley Cup. You know, we took them to 7 games, so, you know, we definitely did the best against them in the playoffs. Had them sweating there, but as always, super deflating just to see the sim engine work out like that. But overall, you know, very happy with this group. We'll take a look at the awards real quick here and see what happens. Yeah, so Columbus there, getting their first one in recent years. I honestly do like that, though, to be honest with you guys. I like seeing different teams winning the Stanley Cup. This simulation is vastly different from our Colorado one, like where us and Tampa were literally the 2 dynasties of the league, and in this one, we've had a different team win the cup every single year so far. So that's pretty nice to see, just have that variety. Calgary actually won the President's Trophy. I thought it was Columbus. They must have eked them out by a couple points for the 3rd straight year, and I think they've gotten knocked out in the first round every single season. And then there are those ones. Take a look at the individual awards. Lindholm with the Art Ross and the Hart, 3rd straight year for him. Quinn Hughes back-to-back Norris. McKinnon with the Lady Byng. Urkamps gets the Calder. Johnson with the Conn Smythe. Kosa with the Vezina. Erickson there, though, getting the William Jennings. Solovyov with the Masterson 3 years in a row. Very nice. Pittsburgh coach gets the Jack Adams. Heischer with the Selke. Lindholm gets the Ted Lindsay, and Mangiapane with the Maurice Richard. So Calgary was just stacked this year, but unfortunately for them, they're kind of having like a Toronto curse. They can't really make it out of the first round of the playoffs in recent seasons. So we will head out to the draft here, and, you know, maybe we'll try to trade up, to be quite honest, get a higher first round pick, but we'll see what we can do. Alright guys, I'm looking at the retired players. As you can see, we have some very big names here. Sidney Crosby, most notable. That's actually so funny that he was on Washington. I mean, what the heck? For his last season. Oh my goodness. He bounced around a bit. Arizona, Chicago, and then Washington there. But that's funny. You got Voracek there. O'Reilly, Carlson, Pacioretty, JT Miller, Kuznetsov, Duchesne there. Barry, Gallagher, Toffoli. Yeah, some really big names. Klingberg there. But obviously Crosby, the most notable. See any big goalies? Yeah, so Anderson, Leonard, and Grubauer here. Then you also have Murray, Subban, Lindgren, So some decently big names calling it quits this year, and we'll head right into the draft. Alright guys, so here we are at the NHL entry draft for 2029. We're going to jump right into it and look at the top 5 picks here. New Jersey, Ottawa, Seattle, San Jose, and Carolina. I honestly might try and trade up for a pick here maybe, depending on what the draft class looks like. But, you know, we'll start moving through the draft and, you know, I'm going to take a look at the draft class and see what kind of players we have, because I feel like at this point, if we want to win a Stanley Cup, we really kind of need like an X factor, you know, difference maker type of player. Maybe we can target one, you know, in the off season as well. Maybe make a huge trade here, get a higher round draft pick. So we'll take a look and see what we can do. Alright guys, so I'm going to try and trade up. Edmonton is the 8th overall pick here. Gonna give them Willie Dwyer, who's a low elite, but he's 23 and 81. Like, he's just not developing the way I want him to, but he's have a lot of trade value still in our round 1 next year. If they say no to this, I'll probably offer our round 1 this year, because we do have a second 83 overall. So I'm gonna try and, you know, make these trade offers pretty quickly, just because, you know, there are some really good players, you know, guys that have like a 1-year ETA, stuff like that. So if we can get this trade going, I feel like that would be really good for us. You know, giving up a round 1, you know, fair is fair though, right? Like they're gonna give up theirs for us. So let's try this and see what they say. Oh wow, okay. So I'm actually really happy with that. Again, Dwyer just, you know, was not developing the way we want him to. Like, he's been in at 81 for like the last 2 seasons, and that's actually a good pick for us. So I'm gonna take a look at the draft class. They have the number 8 pick, so we're gonna see who we want to take 8th overall. So Arizona gets a 80 overall, Seattle gets an 81, San Jose gets a 79, and Carolina there gets a 78. So we're just gonna keep simming up. I want to make sure none of them take our guys. So alright, 67 overall, that kind of sucks. So our guy could end up being like a 60 something overall. We also have these 2 guys, so we're gonna take a look and just decide who we want to take here. Alright guys, so after some consideration, I am gonna take Marco Tuparainen here. Again, 18 years old, listed as NHL ready here. Superstar ability potential. Great shot, you know, he's a big guy, 6'4", 204 pounds, A+ physical, and other really good stats. So we're gonna take him, and wow, 76 overall. My goodness, he's like as good as some of the higher picks here, yeah, just right under him. So that's a fantastic pick. Actually is a medium top 4. His listed potential is medium top 6, so that's an absolutely fantastic pick for us here. Definitely probably going to slot him into the 3rd pairing, or, you know, maybe have him play part of the year in the AHL and then move him up. But yeah, really glad we made that trade for that pick. That was absolutely amazing. And we still have our 1st rounder. Remember, we gave up ours in 2030 to Edmonton. So Edmonton's probably like kicking us in the ass for this. But we're going to go to our pick here. We're picking number 30 next. Alright guys, our next pick is going to be Julian Phillips. I absolutely don't want to risk losing this guy. He's 17 years old. Look at the numbers there, 50 assists. His skills look great. He's got a guaranteed 1-year ETA and potential for X Factor abilities. So I feel like he just looks too good. He's projected to go 38th, so we might lose out on him considering our next pick is like 34th. So we're going to see what he is. And a 74, wow. So really another really good pick here in the 1st round. You look at him compared to the other ones, my goodness. Our scout spot on. Let's see what he is actually. So he's got a good shot, he's a good skater right out the bat. This is a 2-way forward, so that's good for us. And he has quick draw. As a center, that's actually a good superstar ability to have, so really good pick for us. Really happy with these 2 1st round picks, guys. That was insane. And we'll go to our next one. We're picking number 33. Alright, our next pick is going to be Eddie Blackburn. He's not listed to go until 66. However, we have 3 2nd round picks here, guys. So, like, there are some guys above him that we can still get for sure. He's 18 years old. He's got some good numbers, you know, good skills there. 3 years ETA, but look at all these potential for X factors and superstar abilities. I feel like he's just way too good to pass up. I absolutely don't want to risk him, you know, jumping in, you know, draft value or whatever and someone taking him. So we're going to take him here. And he's a 63 low elite. So that is actually a fantastic pick here. And he does have all of those X factors. Oh my gosh. This guy's insane. We can slot him right into our, you know, AHL team most likely. And our next pick is number 53 here, so we'll go to that one. Alright guys, we're just gonna look Ruben Cambeats here. He's got a guaranteed 3 years ETA, probably a medium top 9. Good skills here, fast skater, good shooter. Listed as a sniper. Didn't play all that much, but we scouted him pretty well. He looks like a pretty solid pick for us, and let's see what he is. And 62 medium top 9, so yeah, that's a pretty solid pick here. You know, starting to fall like in the status quo for these second round picks. And we're going to go to our next pick here, number 62. Alright, I'm going to select Ivan Korolyuk here. Guaranteed 3 years ETA. Good skills here. Looks like a good shooter, pretty good skater for where we're at in the draft. Didn't play too much, but this is a sniper. A+ competition. He could be a solid pick here. And let's see what he is. 64 low top 6, so not a bad pick at all. Yeah, I mean, pretty good shot for where he's at. Yeah, good skater, 79 speed already, so I like that pick. And we'll go to our next one. Believe we're picking 106. Yeah, we don't have a round 3 pick, which kind of sucks, but we'll get through this draft. Alright guys, I'm going to select Matthew Drouin-Delorier here. This is a potential for an offensive defenseman. You know, decent stats. Didn't scout it as great, but almost a guaranteed 3 years ETA and potential for superstar ability. So I feel like he's kind of our best option here, and I really want to bolster our defensive prospects looking down the road here. So let's see, 59 low top 6. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, a little bit higher than the last 2 picks. He did not have an X factor, which kind of sucks, but take a look at some of his skills. Like, honestly, pretty good skater right out the bat. Pretty decent defensive awareness and stuff too, so not a bad pick. And we'll go to our next one here, 116. We're going to select Xander Dubilwitz here. I definitely butchered that last name here, but he has really good stats actually for being at 116 overall. And guaranteed 3 years ETA, guaranteed low top 6, so he honestly looks like a really solid pick here in this draft. So let's see what his overall is. And 66 overall, low top 6, so like pretty good players. He had some really good numbers there. And yeah, some of his stats are actually pretty good. Kind of physical, good puck skills already, pretty good shot right out the bat, so not a bad pick there at all in the 4th round here. And our next pick will be number 189. Alright guys, I could eat this pick, but I'm going to select Louis Bellinger here. He's a goalie, 17 years old. Put up some good numbers there though. Didn't scout him that great, but he's got 5 years ETA, medium starter, like, you know, not that accurate on the potential there, so it could be a bust here. But you know, it is what it is. We're getting later in the draft here, so let's see what he ends up being. He's a medium backup, which kind of sucks, but 57 overall. I mean, like, for a goalie in the 4th round, that's actually not that bad. Some of his stats are pretty decent already, so you know, it could be a good AHL option a couple years down the road here. And our next pick, that's it actually. So I'm going to take a look and see if there's anyone else that we might want to trade for in the late round here. So yeah, we'll take a look. Yeah, so there was a pick. I traded Seattle for their pick here, the first one in the 7th round, because there should be our pin guy. Yeah, here, almost a low elite, 19 years old. Like, could be a bust, but at the same time, like, he has the highest potential so far, so let's see what he is. And he's a low elite, 60 overall. Alright, so that was actually, like, not a bad pick. Pretty physical guy there, too. This is a power forward. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like this pick. So, good thing we traded for that, and that'll do it for the draft here. Overall, I really liked our pick, especially like our first several picks. The first 2 picks, though, we had in the 1st round were absolutely unreal. I think our 8th overall pick there could slot right into, you know, our 3rd D pairing to start the year. If not, just have him start in the AHL, but that'll do it for the draft. And here we're going to go into the re-sign phase. I'm going to see what we want to do with some of these contracts. We're not going to be losing any forwards. which is good. I believe we just have our 2 goalies and our 2 defensemen that we could lose here. So Ferentz and Haig, they are 2 big, you know, big time defensemen. Sanheim, they're down to an 82, unfortunately. So, you know, we could look to trade him or something like that. Goalies here, you know, Blomqvist and Comesso haven't gone up in rating at all. So we'll see if we want to re-sign one of them. Worst comes to worst, we can actually pull Vejmelka up to be our backup and, you know, sign a good starter. But if you take a look at our forwards, you know, our forwards look pretty solid, not gonna lie. So no work to do on the forwards here unless we end up having the cap space for a big timer. I don't think we will. Lambert there went up to an 89 from an 85. Kind of crazy. Jaeger's still an 89. McGordy down to an 84. Kind of interesting, but still a good player. So yeah, we will take a look at our contracts and see what we want to do here. We signed Tuppurainen. As you guys know, he was our 8th overall pick this year. So he's going to slot in, probably start the year on the AHL team, and then we'll probably look to bring him up into the NHL depending on how he's developing. Overall, really good for us. He was such a good pick. Alright guys, first things first, I want to go after a starting goalie here. So we'll take a look. It's actually kind of funny that Primo is one of our top options, but beginning to see Comesso's there asking for 5.9 and Blomqvist over 6 million. I mean, Saros is still an 86. Like, what's going on there? There's also this guy. I don't know what his deal is. Why is he a free agent? He's an RFA. Yeah, I don't. His glove stats and stick stats are really good. Good athleticism there. His numbers weren't too great though. Yeah, pretty tough decision here. I also have this guy here, guards, who put up some really good numbers, and really good stats as well. So I might make an offer on him. He does just want 1 year. But yeah, we got some work to do on the goalies. I think maybe Saros might be someone we target as well. Alright guys, so you see Saros accepted our offer for the year. That's actually an insane ad for us. You know, I think he could be a difference maker on the goaltending front, especially when we get into the playoffs. So really glad that we were able to lock him in for the next year. Alright guys, so I realized we have 10.49 million in cap space and Adam Fox is still available here. I mean, he's asking for 10.9. I actually do want to make him an offer of just like the max amount. Maybe just go down to like 10.4 or 10.45 and see what he says to this. I feel like this could be an insane ad for us. He's just so good. You know, Dougie Hamilton ended up signing with the Flames, so we'll see what he says to this. Alright guys, so Struble accepted our offer before Adam Fox, unfortunately, so even if Fox comes back and says like he was gonna accept, but we don't have the cap space, like, that'll be unfortunate, but Struble's still really good. He's 27 years old. I think he's an 85 overall, so still a really good defenseman for us. We lock him in for 4 years, I believe. So still like happy with that ad. He's a really good, you know, will be really good as a defensive core for us. I think as another defenseman, I realize we do have one more spot on the team. Jiricek is here asking for 3 years. I'm gonna try giving him 4 at 4.5. See what he says to this. He's actually a really good D-man. He'll fit nicely, round out our defensive core. Oh no, so Fox was gonna sign with us. That kind of sucks, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Not, you know, he just, you know, he took too long to get back to us. That's what it was. Struble really wanted to join our team, and he took the opportunity. And there we go, guys. So your Jiricek just decided to sign with us. Huge pickup for us. We got a great starting goalie and really good defensive depth added to our team this offseason. I really like these signings. We do have Vejmelka as our backup, which, all things considered, isn't the worst possible thing that could happen, considering he's still a 79 overall. And some of his stats are actually quite good. Like, his poise is actually pretty high. His athleticism is pretty decent, you know, 85 agility. His stick and glove stats are actually pretty good. You know, high 80s is what you want to see. So not the worst possible thing that could happen for us, to be quite honest. And we make it in with 1.8 million in cap space left. Saros, the huge signing for us, 86 overall. His poison 87. Like, he's just so good. You know, I think he could be a difference maker for us. And then certainly on the defensive side, or defensive core, he actually looks really good. So yeah, I'm happy with this offseason. I think we made some really good signings here. Right, guys, so headed into the new year, we're going to be going into the 2029-2030 season here. I just want to show you our lines. Honestly, our team looks really good. Our chemistry looks great. This first line here gets a +3. So that would basically be like two 92s playing with a 94. Pretty nasty first line. Second line here gets a +5. So it'd be like an 89, playing with a 96, playing with a 91. So that's pretty gross for a second line. Third line here, even correlation. Fourth line there gets a +1, so it's like an 85 and then 81 and another 81. That's a really solid fourth line down there. You know, a sniper, two-way forward, and a power forward there. Really good depth. Keller and Denisenko, playmaker and sniper paired together. And then our first line here got Caulfield and Lambert, playmaker and sniper, and then Jaeger, two-way forward. So these forward lines look really solid going into the new year here. Take a look at defensive pairs. Like, I just don't know why we're not getting any chemistry boosts on our defensive pairs, but at least they're not in the negatives, I guess. So we got Barron and Carrier here on the first line. Really good. Just a really solid first pairing, honestly. Then we got Juracek and Tarnquist here. Nice second pairing. And Sanheim, our veteran guy, locking it down with Struble on the third pairing. So, you know, good third pairing. I like that. We have a veteran guy here. And then Carrier there, playing with our younger guy, Barron. So, you know, good defensive pairs, though. Even though we're not getting positive chemistry, they're still even, and this first line is, like, just on the verge of having a +1. So, overall, I like that. Our special teams, though, look disgusting. This is the first time I've ever had +5 on both the first and second units. Our power plays are just going to kill it this season. Four-man power plays also look nasty, a +5 and a +1 on the second unit there. Penalty kills look good, +2, and then an even correlation, and then our three-mans, again, kind of hard to do anything to get rid of that -1. I've tried like a bunch of different combinations and players, so they're pretty much the best ones we can come up with. And then take a look at our goalies. Saros is our starter this year, and Vejmelka there backing him up. Again, a 79 overall backup is like not the absolute worst thing that could happen to your team. Like, at this point in the franchise mode, we see a lot of like 71, 72 rookies being backups, but the fact that Saros is 34 years old and still an 85, it's just a testament to how good he is. And then over on our AHL side, Armisen is going to be our starter. He's 23 and 75. He has a lot of potential to grow. Rupert is going to be backing him up. He's 21 and a 63, so remember we drafted him in 2028, so in the 6th round no less, so he's going to need some more experience. Armisen, you know, worst comes to worst, he gets to be a really good backup in the NHL, but regardless, he looks good. Our AHL team also looks very solid. You know, good chemistry all around. We got a lot of rookies playing, you know, 20 years old, 22 years old, 23-year-old there, so 20-year-old there. So lots of young guys playing in our AHL team this year. Defensively, we have our 8th overall pick here on the second pairing. He gets a +1 playing with Kostenko, so he should have a good opportunity to grow on the second pairing. He's going to get, you know, a good amount of ice time, and then we have our, you know, Solis and Drapeau there locking it down on that first line. So overall, I like how our teams look for this season, especially our NHL team. I think we just have a good core of young players, and I'm really looking forward to this new season. Obviously, we want to win another Stanley Cup. We have one so far. I think a goalie could be our difference maker. You know, I think Saros could be the backbone of the team. Hopefully, he plays well this year. And that'll do it for this episode. Next episode, obviously, we'll be going into the 2029-2030 season. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Don't miss another episode. Thanks for so much support on these franchise mode series. They've been a blast. And I will see you back for the next episode where we'll go into the 2029-2030 season. Have a good one, y'all.